All right, so we are live. We are live here at Sisters Cafe. It is Traveling with Gladys and Joy. We are here to answer your questions, give you information, and just be here for whatever that you may need concerning travel. So I am here with my expert guest, Joy. Hey, Joy.
Hey Gladys, hey sisters, hey everyone.
So how was your day today?
My day was fabulous, 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 fabulous. And
That's
I
good.
really good information that I'd like to share. I just got through finishing my Disney training. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about the Disney training, what I learned. And yeah, actually, that's one of the beauties of our industry, our business, is that we get that training at no additional cost. So I was able to become a certified Disney professional in
Wow.
just a few hours. I did it over a weekend.
Okay.
Literally
Okay.
did it over a weekend. So at my leisure over a weekend, and it was amazing. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Super excited. I'd like to do that and then answer some of the questions that the guests may have. How was
Okay.
yours? How was your day today?
You know what? It was a busy day. I decided when I woke up this morning, I'm going to dive right into school. That's what I said to myself. But I got in my office and did a whole bunch of other stuff. Because, if you don't turn notifications and everything off, then all of a sudden it's, oh, let me answer this real quick. Well, let me answer this email. Then somebody has a text message. And then before you know it, the day is gone.
Yes.
The day is
Yeah.
gone. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna just cut off all these notifications because school has to be done. And
Yeah.
I'd rather do it while I'm fresh because I'm not a spring chicken no more. Stuff don't be registering with my brain like it used to.
Right.
So,
Same
but
with
no,
same with doing travel and even planning your own travel. You want to stay on topic, to stay focused or whatever. I have learned to use a 15-minute calendar. It has
oh,
been life to me. It has been life to me. I started it for business purposes, and then I've carried it over into my life. Um,
okay,
you know how we're busy. We're busy people, busy mothers, grandmothers, wife on your end and not on mine, but just still busy, busy people, church people,
right,
family,
right.
all of that. And I have found that I am even now this past couple of weeks, and it has been helping me. I am even, and look, take this as another tip.
Okay.
I am even scheduling in times like, you know what, this is the time that I really want to decompress. I want these 30 minutes to just decompress. And I'm like, you know
Mm,
what, these are the hour. I literally over the weekend wrote on my calendar an hour
uh-huh.
for a nap. I'm like, I want to nap this hour. And that way I was able to do everything I wanted to do on schedule. I set the alarm, went and laid down, got me 30 minutes of sleep, didn't sleep the whole hour, got up, and I felt refreshed and ready to go about the rest of my tasks. So yeah,
Wow.
that 15-minute calendar is really helpful. It lets you see your day, plan it out, and do it in pencil. I mean, obviously, if something business had popped up, I would have rescheduled the nap,
Right.
or nap. But you know what I mean? At least it's on there. And
Right.
I have friends that I haven't kept in contact with, I put them on the calendar, and
Okay.
they might be like, this sounds kind of cold. No, it is deliberate. It is
Right. On
deliberate.
purpose.
Yes, it is deliberate
Yes.
plan. Meaning, girl, you know what? I haven't talked to you. I'm putting you on. I'm talking to you today at 6:30. 6:30. Undivided attention. I'm
Right.
calling. And I was like, you know what? This organization stuff is helpful.
Yeah, it is. It is super. And it's funny that you mentioned scheduling time because um it was about maybe a month and a half ago. And I was just realizing because we be on here sharing travel, but the first
Yes.
thing we like to always share always is Jesus.
Yeah.
So it kind of bothered me because I'm like, I feel like I'm not giving him him time.
Right.
Schedule him time. Yes, I pray while I'm cooking. Yes, I pray while I'm in the car, in the shower. And yeah, I get all that. That's all good and great. But there's no me time. And church is not just me and him time.
Right.
Because generally when I'm at church, I'm working. And that's
Right.
so there's no me time
Right.
for him. And I
Right.
was like, you know what? You schedule everything else
Everything. Yep.
So what I did was I put it in there as an appointment. Don't
Yep.
call me. I'm not answering nothing. I can't do nothing. Don't schedule me on nothing. This right here is his time. And I
Right.
would like to make it bigger at some point, but right now we're going to start with an hour. But I said to, you know what, God, forgive me. Forgive me for not giving you your special
Right.
time all
Right.
the time.
Right.
So, yes, that organization helps a lot.
It does. It absolutely does. And you know what? I even prayed a prayer, and God knows when the conversations come up, and this we will do our travel. We will give our travel tips, and I mean, ain't nobody even climbed on right now, so just give people time to get on, and replayers can listen to this. But I'm going to tell you, that's one of the prayers I prayed early on in my business, and I pray it in my life in general as of right now. It's like, you know what? I don't want to give anything more time. And I don't mean more in hours or quantity. That's not what I'm saying, because that happens. I mean,
Mhm,
that to me,
mhm.
I don't even think God requires that. But I don't want to give more time to people, to relationships, to making money, to building empires, to anything than I
Right,
give to you. And again, this is not a quantity thing. I'm not saying I gave them 2 hours, I got to give you 2 hours. I gave them an
right,
hour. Not saying that. I'm just saying that if I block off time, whatever that is, if I make a deliberate effort to be at business meetings, I want to make deliberate efforts to be in the house of God. If I make deliberate time to read, which I have been doing, like I said, self-help and those type of things. If I
mhm,
make a deliberate effort to read, then I also want to make a deliberate effort to read my word. So it's
right.
like, that's what I mean. Like, if I'm going to do this, if I want to look presentable for work, then I need to be looking presentable for Christ. So just all of that kind of stuff. It's like, I don't want anything to get in there where I forget
Right.
what the main thing is. And
Keep
that's
the
one thing
main
we
thing
say
main.
in the business. Keep the main thing, the main thing.
Right, right.
Oh yeah, it's definitely been helpful. And even for those who say they're too busy, not getting back to the travel. For people that use that I'm too busy, that
Mhm.
is exactly what helped me. Literally, it's a business that can be worked in 15-minute increments. When I book travel in, I won't say necessarily 15-minute increments, but in small increments.
Okay,
I
okay,
book a lot of travel on the road.
okay,
I
okay.
really do. I book a lot of travel on the road. And people might be like, how do you do that? So here's my tip. Look, here's another tip.
There's a lot of tips today.
Another tip. Look, here's another tip. So one of the things that I do is like I don't even have to say it anymore. I'm a Royal Caribbean girl. I love cruising. I got their number on speed dial. So really, what I do is I'll scribble out what I need to do, what I need to what questions I need to ask, what rates I want to confirm, if I got anything that I want to do, if I need to make any payments or any of that. I'll scribble that out. I'll have all my credit card authorization forms and all of that. I'll have everything handy. And then
Mm,
while I'm in the car, while I'm in traffic, I'm calling them. And I'm like, and that again, a lot of people are like, well, I don't have time. I don't have time. I do very little booking through portals. I have
okay.
I have access, but I do very little. One of the benefits of the relationships that we have with our vendors through IntelliTravel is I got direct access. I got a
Got it.
phone number that I
Got
can
it.
call and be like, hey, this is what I need to do. Can you help me do this? I'm an agent and blah, blah, blah. Here's my credentials. And they'll do that. So while
Okay.
I'm on the road, I'm booking, making payments,
Nice.
all that kind of
Nice.
stuff. Adding my perks to the account. Like, hey, I want to make sure that I add these. Oh God, how did I forget the name right there? I can't even think of Gap points. I want to add these Gap points to my reservation all while I'm in the car. And then I get home. It's like, okay, now who can I call? Who can I talk to about the business? Now
Right.
that I've done the business of travel. So yeah,
So it truly is for a busy individual.
exactly, exactly. As long as you can organize yourself. And if that
Right.
was all I wanted to do in a day, then literally I could have run my business in what, 20, 30 minutes that day. If that
Right.
was to do. And if I wanted to be a hybrid, which I am, then I could take another 20, 30 minutes or an hour to, reach out and to share the opportunity. And I could have worked my whole business in its entirety within an hour that day and still went on about my life. And we can schedule an hour for something that's important,
We do.
especially if that hour can be broken up.
Right. Right. And
That's
it makes
they,
a huge difference. And I thought about while you were talking about on the road, I used to be on the road so much because, you know, I'm a road tripping girl.
yes, I don't know how
The
you do
ministry is everywhere. We're
right.
always in the car going
Right.
somewhere. But I don't do it as much now because I'm never in the car by myself. But when I
Mhm.
was alone in the car, that is actually when I scheduled because to be honest, it was the only time I was being still was when I was driving.
Right.
So why not answer? Why not reply to those voicemails? Why not call these people? Why not make my doctor's appointments? So
Yep.
it's the same concept with the business.
Yep.
Do all that while you are in the
Yep.
car.
Exactly.
Um, but I wanted to bring up, you talked about this Disney training. Like,
Yes.
tell me about it.
So I mean, Disney is celebrating it. The original Disney, a Disneyland, not World.
Okay.
Disneyland is celebrating its 70th anniversary. Disney World celebrated 50 years earlier,
Oh,
just this past
okay.
was it this past year or the year, but this past year they just
Okay.
celebrated 50 and Disneyland celebrated 70. So it's been around a long time. Many of us grew up with Disney and all that. So I'm like, this is gonna be a cinch, right? Like, what, I know I've been to Disneyland. I know it. Like, this is gonna be the easiest training ever. And it was easy. But let me tell you, do you know that I didn't know some stuff about Disney? It's like, what? What? Like, okay. So one of the things that I did not know about Disney is Disney has something called Disney Adventures. Disney has a partnership. They own um National Geographic.
They
Nat
own
Geo.
it?
Nat Geo.
Wait, that makes sense. I watch it. I watch the animal stuff on Disney.
Yes. They own that. Okay. So that was news in itself. Oh, okay. You know, Disney's doing thing. I know they own channel ABC. So I'm like, okay,
Right.
so it's just diversified. But no, it's not just that. Nat If you were going to think Disney, you might think cruise. You might think one of the parks, the theme parks. If you were going to get exotic, you might go think Disneyland Paris or Tokyo or like that. Let me
Right.
would you ever think about a Disney excursion where you had a private jet?
No.
Would that ever cross your mind? No.
Ha- Tell
Exactly.
me about that.
So
Like,
I was like, say what? Like what? Like
hey,
what?
wait,
Like
so Mickey got his own jet?
like
Like,
that's the other side of the menu right there. I'm like, it's like, wait a minute. I never knew about that side.
right.
But yes, so when you Disney does things called not just excursions. Oh my lord! See, here I get live, and then I want to start getting tongue tied. Um, I'm trying to say excursions, and I'm trying to say excavations, and ain't neither one of those the
So
right.
they have something though called something.
Wait, look, because I got to get this right. I know I didn't have a birthday, and this 54 is out there just all in front, but this just makes no sense. Not an excursion, which it is an excursion, but it's a bigger word for it. Oh my lord. I'm really on this live and cannot remember this word.
It happens. It happens.
I cannot believe that. Okay, so
Experiences.
exhibitions, is it exhibitions? And then they actually do things like since I can't think of what that other word was, they actually do things like, say for instance, in Jurassic Park, I don't know if you're in a Jurassic Park person, but say for instance you wanted to do something major, right? We're not just
Okay.
talking about going for a weekend or a week. Let's just say you literally wanted to go and look at dinosaur fossils or things like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You do
Okay.
excavations and you want to be hands on and you want to go do something like that, you could literally get a group, take the private jet, go to some of these far off, wild adventures, Disney sponsored, with a Disney sponsor or two with you, guiding you along the way while you're doing this. Like I
Wait.
said,
So when you say Disney sponsor, are we saying that Mickey, Minnie, Disney, or Daisy or Donald's
no,
going to go with me, or really a sponsor?
like tour guides,
Okay.
like tour
Okay.
guides. like someone who is knowledgeable in that expert in that area.
That area.
They
Okay.
do things like, say, for instance, like again, catering to niche markets. Say, for instance, you're a photographer and you want an exhibition or an excursion or this. Oh God, I wish I could remember that word. Oh my Lord, I'm coming back to this live and I'm gonna put it in the chat.
I
So
wonder. Let's find it though, because I didn't see anything else pop up.
it has bothered me so much. But and it makes no sense because here I am talking about something that I just got through studying and I can't remember. So just I'm gonna
Well,
chalk it up. I'm gonna chalk it up to age and stress, but that's just ridiculous. But at anyway, it caters to, like, say for instance, you're a photographer,
okay.
then there are different excursions, for lack of the better word, that are literally geared towards the best places on the planet that Nat Geo knows, that National Geographic knows to do that. You want to go see bald eagles? We'll take you over here. We'll take you to these mountains and let you see this and fly you through the whatever it is, these, all these mountains, and take you to these best spots with a certified tour guide, with professional photographers helping you with your craft and all that kind of stuff. I was like, Disney is like really out there. I'm like, it could get as big as, like I said, it could be the other side of the menu for you. Disney, not just, and Disney is a luxury brand by itself,
Right.
but it's not just Mickey Minnie ears and theme parks and all that. It literally is fantastic and some high end value for your higher end clients or for those that are looking for a higher end experience. So, and then the Disney adventures are other things that you can do. That's some trips, like one of my favorite ones that I saw were like some trips to Alaska and things like that with your family. So, and some adventures, some real adventures like that, where you can go to some places like that, to Alaska. I think they did have some to Japan and to Europe, and you know what I mean? So you can adventure vacation booked through Disney, along with tour guides and things like that, people who are very knowledgeable about where they're taking you. So it's not just theme parks. I didn't know that.
I didn't know it either.
I didn't know that. So I learned that during my Disney training.
But it also just shows that everybody needs multiple streams of income.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it proves the value that we get. A lot of times, I think on one of our meetings that I was on last night, I was talking to a group, and they were saying how somebody had an issue with the monthly overhead, the cost of being in business. Well, first of all, you couldn't open up a lemonade stand without buying lemons. So if you're going to open up a business, you're going to have some kind of cost, some kind of expense. And that $60 a month that we pay for our business, I mean, is a very low overhead to literally be in a 1099 business.
Software alone. StreamYard cost me more than $50.
Wow.
Just StreamYard. We ain't even got on Zoom. We ain't talking about the website. The website plus the email, we looking at $60-something a month.
Right. Or the maintenance for any of those.
Yeah, this is low.
Or the insurance, because again, we're in business. Let something go wrong.
Right.
Mess up somebody's vacation and ain't got no insurance. You know what I mean?
Right.
Funny story on that. I'll give you the short version. I had booked a client that I did not know. She was a referral from somebody else. They went to Cabo, had a great time. I'm like, hey, the day they were supposed to come back, I'm like, I'm not going to bother them. I'll check on them tomorrow, right? So the next day I send my little text like, hey, hope you had a good time. Didn't hear anything back, no business, whatever. The next day, I'm like, I'd love to hear about your vacation. Hope everything went well. Nothing, nobody. And then I was like, okay. I was like, maybe I better, call back later, make sure everything did go well. I'm like, news might not be good news. Maybe something happened. Maybe something went wrong. And then I was at work the next day. So we're like day 3 now. And day 2 after they were supposed to come back. So they should have came back and I'm 2 days later. So now this is 2 days afterwards. And I get a call from the supplier that I booked the vacation with, talking about, hey, we're trying to meet, trying to reach so and so and so. And it was my client. And I was like, me, I'm thinking to myself, me too. Like, what? So like, yeah, we don't show that they got on their flight. And I'm like, oh my God. And the first thing I thought is, oh God, I done lost a client in Mexico. What happened? What happened? What do you do? What do you do? Who do you call? Do we have a consulate? I'm like, what? It's like, I'm panicking.
Right.
I'm panicking. If I had been in any other kind of a scenario business-wise, even as an independent boutique owner or anything, what would I have done? I was so happy, so grateful that I had contacts, that I had people to call, people that I could reach out to, that I had access to be like, what happened? Right. Only to find out that they had been rescheduled by their flight. And the flight had reached out to them directly. Didn't let me know. Didn't let the supplier know. The flight, the airline reached out to them, canceled their flight. It's like, we'll give you pass to go to another resort, and we'll book you on another flight in a few days. And I think 3 days later, so they got an extra 3 days at a resort on behalf of the airlines.
Okay.
Paid for it. And they was having such a good time. Never dawned on them to call us and tell us that they was fine enjoying 4 days at another resort. I was
now, was their phone not working? Like they didn't see the messages, or? Okay. Yeah, that's kind of important. So I can see how that could pull you out.
I don't know if they're out the country, so they didn't have the plan. They didn't want to answer. I don't know.
And it could be one of those rules. Sometimes when you're being together, you say things like, you know what? Let's put these phones down. Right. No phones. We started to do that at dinner.
They're grown, so they may have done that. I don't know. But when I tell you that scared the bejeebus out of me, Lord, I done lost some folks over there in Mexico. What am I supposed to do with that?
Well, I'm glad it turned out a great way.
Exactly.
That would have been disastrous.
Something wonderful to happen for them, and that it worked out. Their jobs and everybody was had no problem. But again, like suppose something had go wrong. What if it was I was covered? I had insurance. I had followed all my rules, dotted all my I's, crossed all my T's, so I would have been covered.
Okay.
Had I messed up something or whatever. But again, it's like
you wouldn't want,
That's all included in what we paid. The training that I took alone. I didn't have to go to school. I went to the College of Disney Knowledge. Disney sent me. That's what it's called. The College of Disney Knowledge.
Oh, that's for real.
That is what it's called. The College of Disney Knowledge.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Of course. So leave it up to Disney.
I've gotten my master's with Royal Caribbean.
What? I love it.
And then, I've graduated the College of Disney Knowledge. So I've graduated. I forget what Princess calls theirs, but I've graduated theirs as well.
And the Sea Academy?
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly. I've done the Sea Academy. So for Virgin. So like all of these are all certifications and things that I have that help me improve myself and my craft. Just to give you more legitimacy. Not that we need it. We are legitimate, but it just gives more legitimacy, because we always tell people that you don't have to have any experience to get started, but we are very responsible with our message. Just because you don't need any experience to get started doesn't mean stay inexperienced while running. Just come in. You don't need anything to get started, and you can learn while you're earning, and that's beautiful. You can get that on the job training, so to speak. So and for no additional cost is where I was going with that. That's another area that $60 a month has covered for me. And there's more training and more things out there than I will ever complete.
So much.
And even if it was possible to complete it in a lifetime, by the time you finally finished, there's new stuff. They're constantly evolving, and the industry is constantly growing. So those were my tips, all of them.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your tips. And of course, we're not going to hold everybody, but if anybody is out there watching and you wanted more information, just inbox us your name, your
Absolutely.
phone number, and your email address. And that way we can get back to you and answer whatever questions you may have. If you are watching on Joy's Live, go ahead and type the number 4. If you are watching on mine, go ahead and type in the number 7, and we will reach out to you if that's
Absolutely.
necessary, if you haven't already inboxed us.
Absolutely. And can I say one more thing? I'm
Mhm.
going to drop a little secret. Something huge is coming to California. It's soon to be announced. And those of you who reach out to us, if you are in California, reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out. I can't, you want to, let me tell you, you want to know if you are considering this opportunity at all, period, even a little bit, like 1%, reach out. Something huge is coming to California, and we want you to be ahead of the game. I want to share it with you. Gladys wants to share it with you before it's announced to everybody. So yeah, reach out, California.
Well, you heard it there. All our folks in Cali, go ahead and hit us up because something big is coming to California. So don't don't be one of those people at that time. You know what you regret?
Yes,
The biggest regret I have, one of the biggest regrets I have is when that Meta stock was $88.
right,
And I did not get it because I chose Google and Amazon over Meta. Big
right,
mistake.
right.
And every time I watch it rise, right? Last time I looked, it was at 632.
Yep. Oh
You
my good.
imagine from $88 to $632 per
Wow.
share now.
Yes.
Every day I look at it, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'd be almost sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
California, don't let that be you.
Yeah.
Don't be sick to your stomach when you find out what's coming and you did not.
Exactly. And you missed it.
You
And
missed
you
it.
missed it.
You missed it. We don't want that
Don't
for
want
you.
it. You don't want to miss it.
Don't want to miss. So
It's worth it to listen. California, this is
right.
anybody, but California, if you are listening, there is no obligation. It will not take longer than 10 minutes for me to share this information with you that will can have the ability to change your whole life, the whole trajectory of your life. And even if you don't think this is for you, what's 10 minutes to make sure that it's not? Just to make sure. Just to make sure.
Just
So
to make
I'm
sure.
on California, I'm telling you. And Florida, little birdie said you're next.
You next. All my Florida people, hit me up. Hit me up. All right,
Exactly.
so we are going to let you guys go. But again, if you're on Joy's page,
Yes.
type in that number 4 and we can get that information to you. On my page, not click on, but type in number 7. But we are so glad that you were here. We're super excited because we love to be here with you every Tuesday for Travel Tuesday with Gladys and Joy. We'll see you again
Absolutely.
next week at Sisters Cafe. Have a
Absolutely.
good night.
Good night.
Good night.